welcome back to E-Man Entertainment. Now, today, I got another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile for you. Now, today's deck profile happens to be a machine deck. More specifically, an Ancient Gear deck. Now, what I have done today is, I have gotten 3 copies of the Machine Reactor Structure deck, and combined the best cards from each and made into a pretty decent 40-45 card deck. Now, before I start showing you guys the monsters and all that, I want to state I have not come up with an extra deck for this yet, or a side deck. So if you guys have any suggestions for a extra deck or a side deck for for an Ancient Gear deck, let me know in the comments below, and yeah, so let's get started, shall we? First off, I got 3 copies of Planet Pathfinder. Next up, I got 3 copies of Ancient Gear Gadget. Next up, 3 copies of Ancient Gear Wyvern. Next up, 3 copies of Ancient Gear Beast. Next up, 3 copies of Ancient Gear Golem. Next up, 3 copies of Ancient Gear Gajintron Cinema? Or I don't know how to pronounce that. But this Ancient Gear. 3 copies of it. Next, 2 copies of Ancient Gear Dragon. Two copies of Ancient Gear Hydra. Next up, 2 copies of Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. Next up, I got 3 copies of Max C. Next up, I got 1 copy of Green Gadget, Red Gadget, and of course, Yellow Gadget. And that should do it for the monsters. Now into the spells and traps. First off, I got 2 copies of Ancient Gear Workshop. Next, 2 copies of Galaxy Cyclone. Next, 2 copies of Gear Town. Now that's why I have 3 copies of Planet Pathfinder. It's to add the Gear Town from the deck to my hand. Next up, 2 copies of Ancient Gear Fortress. Next up, 2 copies of Ancient Gear Castle. And then, of course, the 1 Limmer removal. Alright. Now that's going to do it for the spell cards. Next are the traps. First off, we got 3 copies of Call the Haunted. Next up, I got 2 copies of Mischief of the Gnomes. And then for our singles, I got 1 copy of Jar of Avars, 1 copy of Machine King 3000 BC, and finally 1 copy of Fiendish Chain. And that's going to do it for my Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile. Now, like I said, I don't have an extra deck for this yet. I'm working on one. I just have to go through my other cards and just see what I have, see what I can work with. I might have to give a few booster packs and hopefully get some extra cards from that or something. I don't know. But, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. And, oh yeah, before I leave, this is something I've been meaning to do for a while now, as, a bit of a shout out to YouTuber RDC. So, you know, sorry. RDC, if you end up watching this video, you know, thank you for that email, and thank you for reminding me that, you know, doing YouTube, you don't have to have a schedule, you know, do it on your own time when you can and stuff like that. Thank you for that reminder. So, you know, a bit of a shout out to him. So if you're not subscribed to him, you know, come subscribe to me. And as always, I ask of you, were you not entertained? And if you were, you know, please like and subscribe. And that's all the time we have for today. See ya.